Hello everyone and welcome to our Week 5 battle of the IBL. Your New York Empoleon are on a bit of a losing streak right now, but I feel like we're right there in it. We are 1-3 with 3 straight losses, but the last 2 have both been 1-0 losses. So a little bit of tough luck. Figured we should change something up, so we did make some changes in Week 5. We dropped Jirachi and traded Vileplume. In exchange, we ended up with Krookodile and Ferrothorn. 2 Pokemon that I am infinitely familiar with. We needed a Dark type, we needed a Ground type, and I figured Jirachi doesn't really work for me anyway, let's be honest. Let's take a more secure Steel type to do the job of bulky Steel type, and can be offensive when it needs to be. I think Jirachi does do more than Ferrothorn, but I think Ferrothorn's a very good Pokemon, and it forces prep for my opponent to bring things like his Fire types that my Rotom Heat and Miltank can eat up. So I love the idea of having Ferrothorn with Leech Seed, a little bit more reliable than Vileplume at getting that up, and then it's got Spikes and Stealth Rocks as well as the Stab, Iron Head, and Power Whip. So that is the 2 transactions we were able to make this past week. Hopefully they pan out as the season goes along. This first week I do have Krookodile with me along with a Selgor, Rotom Heat, Xatu, Terrakion, and Miltank. I'm not doing team builders yet in this season, so we are going to be showing you those sets as we go along. But on the other side, my opponent has Marowak, Liepard, Celesteela, Gardevoir, Mega, Nidoqueen, Tornadus, Leavanny, Kommo-o, Snorlax, Luxray, and Corsola as his possible options. But we're expecting the 6 that you see on the screen right there, though I could certainly see things like Leavanny coming. Kommo-o is certainly a threat, as well as Nidoqueen. So any of those could definitely be options, but those are the 6 that I would expect him to be bringing. And on my side, we've got some bulk and some offense to counter that, along with dual Scarfers in my Krookodile and Terrakion. We'll see how it goes. We'll get connected with my opponent, and I will see you guys back here in a minute. I'm still trying to get used to this format of no team builder, so hopefully you guys are okay with it, but I'll see you guys back here in a second with that battle. Alright everyone, welcome back. Here we go. We're going to get this battle started. We're not going to waste any more time. Let's see which 6 Pokemon he has. He has that Nidoqueen and the Corsola and the Kommo-o, all those things I said he might bring. In exchange, no Snorlax. We see the Nidoqueen pop up, so let's grab that. No Liepard. No Marowak as well, which is kind of surprising me, actually. Marowak, I felt, was a really good check to his, or to my Ferrothorn that I just picked up, and he did know that I just picked it up, so. And no Tornadus. Corsola instead. And what am I missing? I have to grab the... Oh no, it is Tornadus. What am I doing? Okay, let's put the Corsola over there, and then Tornadus comes back. Alright, perfect. So let's mark down which ones he's got on my note sheet. So he has the Corsola, Tornadus, and Snorlax. Not you two. Okay. Okay. So I could lead with the Rotom. It's pretty safe against most things, although it doesn't really want to see the Nidoqueen at all, which is probably one of his possible rockers along with the Corsola. I could lead with Xatu to handle either of those better than Rotom, but again, doesn't love seeing a Corsola. And I do think Terrakion could be a pretty good lead as well, or Miltank. But I think Rotom is probably my best bet. Oh shoot. Yeah, we getting that in. I just did not realize how much time was left. Alright, we're gonna go with Rotom just because I need to work on my time management there a little bit better. I took a little bit too long putting his team on the screen and less time actually looking at what I should be doing. We're going to lead Rotom. I think it matched up pretty well against anything except for maybe Nidoqueen, just because if he is Assault Vested Nidoqueen, that is going to be a problem for the Rotom here at the beginning of the game. And it's the Tornadus, which I'm okay with. He could go hard Nidoqueen here. He could also just attack me with the Tornadus To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what he was expecting me to lead with. I could go with a Volt Switch, but his pretty much safest switch is either into Corsola or Nidoqueen, depending on if he's expecting Overheat or Volt Switch. If he's expecting a Volt Switch, he's going to go out into the Nidoqueen. But Rotom's really important to me, and if he does go into the Nidoqueen, I think I just go out into my my Miltank at that point. So I think I just want to click Volt Switch here, because he does have the Snorlax. I was going to say, because if he didn't have this, no. Does he have the Snorlax? No, he doesn't. What did I mark wrong? Kommo-o. He has Kommo-o instead of Snorlax. Did we just see knockoff? And, okay, so he can't knock anything off because I am the Z Rotom. And so now I could go out into my Scarf something, or I could go out into my Aselgor, which can outspeed this thing naturally. Nothing loves taking a knockoff. Let's mark down that we saw a knockoff on Tornadus, and that it survived a Volt Switch, which is annoying. Now I don't mind going out into my Terrakion and clicking Close Combat. Or, I mean, Stone Edge is obviously preferred, but Close Combat's okay. Iron Head's actually probably my best play at that point, if I go out into my Terrakion, which is Scarfed, to outspeed anything on his team. So I think that is going to be my best play, just so I don't have to take a knockoff. And I think Iron Head is my move of choice here, just because it's 100% accurate, and it doesn't allow the Gardevoir to come in and set up freely like a Close Combat would do. So it's going to bait something in on the Switch, probably Celesteela, but I can handle Celesteela much better with things like Rotom or Xatu than I can the Gardevoir. I don't want that thing getting a free Switch, so we're just going to go for the Iron Head here. Reveal that we're choice Scarfed, and that's okay by me. We're going to knock out the Tornadus. So Terrakion kills Tornadus I with Iron Head. And we are going to be able to not allow him to go straight Gardevoir here, which is really what I wanted. Celesteela could come in, and if Celesteela comes in, I can go out into my Xatu, which can threaten with the Heat Wave, as well as bounce a Leech Seed back to him. And that is kind of what I'm hoping will be the case. He goes out into Kommo-o, which could have a Z move. Close Combat's going to straight Oko me. Iron Head's going to do like 30%. So definitely not worth staying in here. Now Xatu is a pretty safe switch into this Kommo-o. Rotom could also probably come in and take one hit from it, depending on what he's going to go for. If he predicts the Xatu switch in, then my Kommo-o is going to be, or not my Kommo-o, my Xatu is going to be in a little bit of trouble, because he could have coverage for it. But supposing that he's just going to attack what's in front of him, and if he doesn't Dragon Dance, then I outspeed him, and we can go from there. Now, even after one Dragon Dance, I can outspeed him with things like my Crocodile, potentially. Well, no, definitely my Crocodile and my Terrakion can both still outspeed. So I'm going to go out into my Xatu here, which really was supposed to counter Leavanny, and he didn't bring it. I just really didn't want webs on my side of the field, so it's not the end of the world if it goes down here. And he goes straight for a D-Dance, which is fine. We do, again, still outspeed him with other things on my team, and I want to know what coverage he has for my Xatu. And if he doesn't have anything to blow a Z move here on a Xatu, would be perfectly fine by me. So I'm going to go for the Air Slash here. If he gets himself to +2, he's going to take about 75% from this Air Slash. I can bring him back down to +1 with my Crook, and manage the speed if I have to, whatever way I have to do so. 60 to 70% is how much this Air Slash should do if he's a offensive Xatu. Kommo-o. Whew. Can you tell I'm a little nervous and really want to get a win this week, guys? And like trying to like do good commentary, but also like really care about a win. Alright, so here's the Z move. Z what? Dragonium Z. which he is now using. So yeah, we're about to eat this hit. We're not about to eat this hit. In fact, we are decidedly not about to eat this hit. Yeah, +1 Dragonium Z. So Kommo-O kills Xatu with Devastating Drake. Now he's at +1. We'll say he's adamant. What is he doing to a Crocodile at neutral? Probably killing, right? I would assume at neutral he's killing. Yeah, he is. But I outspeed him. I can click EQ with Crocodile. And then close combat with Terrakion. And finish him off. If he goes for a Dragon Dance here, another one, then we've got problems. Then we've got problems. But I have to go for an Earthquake here. And he may go for another Dragon Dance. I can't KO him with any one hit. And he might think that I'm just switching this in to sack it, or to get the Intimidate and switch out. That Dragon Dance will allow him to outspeed my Terrakion. And it will allow him to outspeed... he also did outspeed my Crocodile. This Crocodile should have been EV'd to outspeed Kommo-O, but it wasn't. So at this point I should sack Miltank. And then go out into my Crook again. Keep him at neutral, where Rotom might be able to take a hit. Or do I sack Crook? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go into Miltank. I end up having to sack Miltank and Crocodile this thing. Oh, he's got the Drain Punch? Oh, that's not good. That's not good. But we do live it, which is fascinating. I'm gonna click Toxic here. Now Rotom can take any hit from this thing. If Miltank could take that hit. How much does a Ghost DMZ from a Rotom do? To Kommo-O? Not enough. Alright, but let's take a look at a neutral Drain Punch on Crocodile. It's a roll. It's a roll. I have to EQ here. He just Dragon Dance again. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this dance. I think he won. Honestly, I don't think letting him get up to plus a bunch is the death of me. Because if Drain Punch just straight kills everything... Yeah, Drain Punch just straight kills everything. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Sometimes you are ready to go, and sometimes you are certainly not. If anything can be said, it's not a 6-0. To be honest, I think that's going to be my best claim to fame on this particular one. I thought I prepped for a Kommo-O well enough. Honestly, I did. I was like, I outspeed it. My Crook is EV'd to outspeed. I'm legitimately not sure. You know what? My Crook is outspeed to my Crook is EV'd to outspeed Adamant. He is running Jolly, so that is my own fault. It looks like. But it is outspeed. It is EV to outspeed Adamant with a Scarf, and unfortunately, not the way this one went. He's gonna go for the Poison Jab, which actually wouldn't even OHKO my Selgor here. Oh, yes, the damage. And I get 2 hits. Not that, again, I don't think it's going to matter. He's going to Poison Jab. And we are going to have to go out into my Terrakion, which just, I don't have the firepower at this point to get through all of his other threats in the back. Even if I do manage to break through the Kommo-O, I still don't have enough to break through everything else at this point. The only move I can click at close combat, he's going to click Poison Jab. Doesn't do very much. It's going to do a little bit more the second time, just because of the defense drop. Now, this game, we play out. We play out because we outspeed everything on his team. I can switch into the Rotom, I can come back in, and I can click Iron Head. And there's a 30% chance every single turn that we manage to get away with this one. That we manage to steal a game that we should never have stolen. In comes the Gardevoir. Maybe should have predicted that. Tracing justified. Hasn't Mega'd yet, so that does actually some solid damage. Now he knows, we both know I go into Rotom here. We both know I go out into Rotom here. But like I said, every turn, there's a 30% chance. There's a 30% chance that my Terrakion gets an Iron Head flinch. Every turn. It's gonna take a lot of turns. That's not, there's no two ways about it. Calm Mind? Okay. I mean, we got no choice. We could Ghost DMZ. We're facing a Mega Gardevoir. It's at +1. And +1. Ghost DMZ probably won't kill. But does a lot. Side Shot. Does like 60%. And again, Iron Heads. I've seen crazier things happen. I have seen crazier things happen. And if this kills the Gardevoir, it doesn't. But it does a lot. I'm going to click Volt Switch, just in case he decides to go for another Calm Mind. Hyper Voice. And again, this is where we're at. We now outspeed his entire team, whether they're scarfed or not. We click Iron Head as many times as we need to, or as many times as we're allowed to. And this is where we're at. We have 23 of them. That might not be enough with Celesteela in the back. To be honest. That might not be enough. Would Stone Edge crits have been better? Perhaps. He's going to go out into Claymaker. That is the Nidoqueen. We're going to go for an Iron Head. Here we go. Number 1. Iron Head number 1, 30% chance. Can we get it? Can we get it? Nope. Nope. Do we survive 1 Earth Power? Nope. Alright, well, great game to my opponent, Jacob. As always, I don't know if I said that at the beginning, but we took on the Green Bay Pikachus, and we just got mollywopped a little bit by the Green Bay Pikachus. Let's see. What could I have done differently in prep? To be honest, I'm not sure. I feel like my lead matchup was fine. I feel like perhaps going out into the Terrakion early allowed his Kommo-O to set up. Maybe I should have predicted that and gone straight for a close combat. Oh no, I was locked in Iron Head. So that's the thing, is I was either baiting in the Gardevoir or the Kommo-O, and I knew that going in, depending on what I clicked. I could have predicted the Dragon Dance and gone out into my Acelgor, thereby encoring him into something first turn, and then not losing all those Pokemon to it. Going back into my Terrakion, going out into his Gardevoir, doing what I did later on in the match, but managing to do it with the Miltank, the Krookodile, and possibly the Xatu, all still alive. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. Like, if I had locked him into Drain Punch, then I could have gone into my Xatu at that point. I do think I was a bit aggressive with the Xatu there. So perhaps that's where I went wrong. Perhaps letting a Kommo-O set up in your face is where you go wrong. But that is all for this week. I hope you guys enjoy. I have been admittedly somewhat distracted this fall doing a variety of other things. My front office isn't as active as they were before, which is not an excuse. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just giving you guys some facts. I'm really loving playing Pokemon against good players, recognizing my skill, and then playing up to me, as opposed to myself playing down to somebody who I think is quintessentially worse than I am. So hopefully we keep getting good challenges. Hopefully we keep managing to keep our head in the game and making the right plays at the right time, instead of making the play the safer play that sometimes leads to misery and sadness, as you guys can see this time. But anyway, I will see you guys next time as we continue on our trek in the IBL, potentially not going into the playoffs for the first time in the New York Empoleon history, or potentially making the season turnaround that we always seem to have somewhere along the line. I hope you guys enjoy this content regardless of win, lose, or draw. I know sometimes I may not be the most excited person in the world, but I love giving you guys more Pokemon content. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.